Hello everyone, this is Red with RedDragonLeo.com. It is a Saturday. I'm doing a report a little bit early, the weekend update early. I've just got some stuff I want to do on Sunday, and I had some free time today, unusually, and so I decided to go ahead and write the post today to get it out of the way. It's not as long as most of the posts, but for the most part I have went over numerous times in the past everything that is expected to happen this week. That it is a crazy ritual week from astrology, planetary alignments of astrology for the middle of this week, as well as turn dates on charts like this spiral guy's charts turned on the 4th, basically. Big turn there, Friday, as well as the ritual dates of the 9th and because that's 11/9/11 or 9/11, and the ritual date of 11/11/11. Not only that, we revisited the Simpson Clock, and we notice in the Simpson Clock here, revisiting it, that it could either point to 11/6, which could be Sunday, or you flip the 6 upside down and you've got 9. You've got a 9 out of it, and so that could easily be 11/9. So you've got a lot of things here that point to something crazy happening this week. Remember these gangsters, these evil people, Bush, Cheney, forgot to mention him, David Rockefeller, Jay Rockefeller. I put the whole list of the gangsters here. Bill Clinton, Henry Kissinger, George Soros, Warren Buffett. I'm missing a whole bunch of them, of course, but these are the main ones. Remember, these evil cabal, they're the ones that are creating all these disasters across the world. They have control of HAARP, and they're the ones that attacked Japan. They used HAARP, but they also used one nuclear bomb planted along the fault line under the seabed of 4 nuclear bombs that they stole from a Russian submarine. 2 more of those nuclear bombs were recovered by the Pentagon, and they originally thought that they'd used them to blow up the 2 underground cities that caused the earthquake in Virginia, but that wasn't the case. Actually, they used alien technology. The aliens were assisting the White Hats and the Pentagon and the White Dragon Society to unite all of these now 100+ nations that are uniting against these 5 nations that the cabal control. But that still leaves 1 nuclear bomb that the gangsters have. So 2 were recovered from the Pentagon, the good guys in the Pentagon, the admirals and generals who don't want this anymore, according to Ben Fulford and his sources, as well as David Wilcox and his sources. And then 1 was used under the seabed, under the ocean in the seabed, to attack Japan with the tsunami. So there's 1 left, and we have this ritual date coming up, 11/9. We've got the Simpson Clock showing the explosion, and of course you can look this up just about anywhere on the internet. They're not talking about it as far as I've seen here recently, but you can clearly see, you turn that upside down, you got a 9. So 11/9. This is a clock that came from an explosion, a nuclear explosion in Springfield, and Simpson is just sitting there, Homer's just sitting there like, duh, what just happened? A big explosion happened. That's what happened. You can just Google that anywhere on the internet. You'll see that. They talked about this last year, nothing happened. They talked about it a year ago, or 2 years ago, nothing happened. And so they've been talking about it for a while. Well, maybe now is the time. So there's also the issue of the new requirements. Zero Hedge was right on this, that and I'll let you click on this and read it, but I'll open this up here in a new window for you to just kind of read. But basically, the gangsters are requiring more margin to be put into the market to cover traders' positions, and it's covering everything now. I mean, they want everything covered. They want stuff that normally did not have a lot of margin on it, and they're increasing the margin on the things that already do have margin. So you can, and this obviously has to do with the MF Global, you know, collapsing as well, and moving those funds around to the new trading companies. The new trading companies that they're moving these funds around are going to require more margin, and then on top of that, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is also increasing the margin for everything. I mean, it basically says right here, they just made the margin requirements traditionally about 26% lower than the initial margins for the specs equal. So that means everything that they want it by the close of business Monday. This could very well cause a gap down on Monday. Once the traders figure this out and figure that they've got to, you know, come up with this money that they don't have to cover margin calls, this could very well easily cause a crash on Monday, and just absolutely fall off a cliff. And of course, we were told about this ahead with the moving margin call. So this came out after the Legatus pilgrimage, or actually the weekend of the Legatus pilgrimage. And ironically, the MF Global information came out on the 25th, which was just 2 days after the Legatus pilgrimage ended, right here on the 23rd. So here we have the Legatus pilgrimage that ended on the 23rd. At that same time, they were talking about the Greece vote, and then they delayed it. So if you ever wonder why this did not work exactly, what should have happened, again, I've said this before, what should have happened was the Greek vote should have concluded on that Sunday, the 23rd, instead of being rescheduled to the 26th on Wednesday. Had it happened on the 23rd, we would have seen that morning gap up of a couple hundred points on the Dow to squeeze out the last bears on a Monday. We could have got short then, instead of getting fooled with that being delayed till the day after the vote on Wednesday, the 26th, and it actually gapped up and ran up on us on the 27th. And then, of course, we know what's happened after that. That's pretty much put the high end for the market. As that Friday following that Thursday was just kind of a pause day and went a little bit higher. But for the most part, the market was toast after that big run up, and it has been since. So here you go, folks. We're giving you a double red alert right now. Those of you that went short over the weekend and you make some money from this, and I have helped you, don't forget, I do accept donations. So I don't ask for them very often, but if this makes you a bunch of money, it would be greatly appreciated if you would throw the old dragon here a bone every now and then. I think I've had 3, maybe 4 people donate out of 2,000 that read this blog, so I guess that's good. I don't know. But it would be nice if some people would every now and then throw a little donation. You know, that does help. So, and I don't ask for that very often, but sometimes it does get discouraging. So I do like to, you know, see that people do appreciate the work that I do here to try to help you. I'm not always right, and I've got the times off, and I've missed a few, but hopefully overall you have benefited from this information that I'm putting out here for you and trying to put these pieces together. So let's go over this post here. The 119 SPY fake print. I wanted to get to that. That certainly makes me wonder, because it was on, let me see if I can't find it here. Here it is. And I'll move this over for you. This showed up on, let's see, 10/26. That was last month. Showing 119.00, 119 exactly. This is the first fake print that I have seen that actually did not have any sense at all behind it. I mean, everything else I've got over the last 2 years always had something, where the 34.65 fake print, the DIA, Dow Jones, basically fake print was 118.16. You know, the VIX print of 349, you know, it's 349.42 cents. Everything. Even a year ago when I had the 97 point, my first fake print showed 1047.28. Every single fake print that I have had over the course of, you know, the last couple of years of doing this, every one of them had change after it. This one does not. Now, while it's any given, you know, print that's out there could, you know, it has a 1 in 100 chance of landing on any number, I guess. But I just find it odd that this one also, when reversed, equals 9/11, as in, you know, another disaster. And also, reading it forward, it could be the 11th month, 9th date, November the 9th, which also matched up with, of course, our Simpson clock when you turn it upside down, 11/9. And astrology wise, we have horrible planetary alignments between the 8th and the 10th of this month. That tells me that there's a possibility that this print is not an actual target but a date and telling you a signal. When you add up when you go up here and you look at this right here and look at the actual date, 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 9. And then just take out the 20 and just look at the 11. You got 9/11 on this particular date. The print actually showed up at let me see, what time was it I posted here. I posted on my blog what time it showed up. That print showed up at 10:56 a.m. 5 plus 6 equals 11. And then your 1 makes 1/11. Okay, so 1/11 equals 10:56. 10:26:11 equals 9/11, because 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 9. And then you got the 11. And then the actual print itself is 11/9, or reversed 9/11. Everything tells me all hell's going to break loose on the 9th, this Wednesday. I don't know what. Does that mean that these gangsters are going to set off a nuclear bomb, the last nuclear bomb that they got from the nuclear submarine, the Russian submarine that they stole from? Are they going to succeed in setting this off? I pray they don't. The good aliens, I assume the Palladians, Nordics, etc., are supposedly helping the White Dragon Society and the White Hats in the Pentagon, and actually assisted with their technology in taking out those 2 underground bases, and then they later took out 6 more, and now the total was well over 20 bases in the United States, or cities you should really call them, have been taken out, and they're using some type of technology that increases the air pressure 20-fold, and then they've opened up wormholes there, or portals, and taken all the people into those portals. So those people just disappeared. They're probably held safely because those people probably are clueless as to what is going on and what these evil gangsters that they work for have been, you know, telling them and planned on doing to them. These are just military people and civilian people that are mostly innocent and just are down there hired to do a job in that city, these underground cities that, you know, 30,000 plus in each city, at least, you know. So, and the biggest one is under the Denver, Colorado airport. So, all this information, folks, if this doesn't convince you that this market is going to crash next week, I don't know what can. I mean, we're going to go over the charts here in a minute just to show you the charts, to tell you as well. But before we do that, let me talk here a little bit about Ben Fulford. What really amazes me is that the timing of everything, and I really hope and want to believe in everything that he is doing in the White Dragon Society. But honestly, until I see big name gangsters arrested, you know, I doubt it. You know, I doubt the ability of the White Dragon Society to take over and really shut these evil Satanist pigs down. I want to see arrests publicly. I want to see George Bush Bill Clinton, George Daddy Bush, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, George Soros, Warren Buffett, Henry Kissinger, David Rockefeller, Jay Rockefeller, the Vanderbilts, the Rothschilds, and many more people. I want to see these kind of people arrested for crimes against humanity, for murdering Satanists that they are. That's what I want to see on national TV. When I see that, I'll believe that these Illuminati cabal gangsters have lost control of this stock market and that we will be free. Right now, I don't see that, because this has already been foretold in the charts with the fake prints that these gangsters have been putting out, because they've done told us what they're going to do. And when you read Ben's post, it's like, you know, I understand the White Dragon Society wants to collapse the economy too, so that they can get the derivatives out of there and reboot the system. But to me, this is exactly what the gangsters want too. Only, you know, they want it for a different reason. They want to reboot the system to bring on the New World Order and enslave mankind. Now, it's true that so far that, you know, they have avoided the destruction of 90% of the population. And for that, I'm thankful, because I'm sure I'd have been one of them that got killed. And as far as we can tell, these underground cities, you know, we don't really have any evidence of it, but as far as we can tell, we do believe that they are being destroyed. I mean, certainly there was a rare earthquake in Virginia that hadn't happened in 100 years. And certainly if you actually Google it and go look, and I haven't done this, but I know it's out there, you Google it and you go look at the earthquake charts and the graphs on that particular earthquake, you'll see that there were no tremors building up to it. It just all of a sudden, bam, happened. And then there was hardly no aftershocks. This clearly tells you it was not a natural earthquake, that it was a man-made earthquake. And that would imply exactly what Ben Fulford is telling you, that is true, that they are destroying these underground bases. So, but that doesn't mean that these gangsters don't have a backup plan to, you know, stage some other thing like this nuclear bomb going up in some city to bring on World War III anyway, even though, you know, their plans to do a fake alien invasion are out the window now, because if all 20 of these bases have been captured and destroyed, then all the alien spacecraft that they have built and the holographic technology that they were going to use to fool us into thinking that we're being attacked by aliens like in the movie Battle LA, all of that is gone. So they can't do that. They can't stage that. So what's left? What's their backup? Well, their backup probably is this last nuclear bomb that they got and setting it off somewhere and blaming it on Iran or Israel or one of them and getting them in to start World War III. They're already trying that. You know, Ben did mention that that Iran was given a bunch of neutron bombs that blow up, that kill people, but don't destroy buildings. And, you know, they didn't want them. They returned them. They were trying to return them to Obama, and he's saying, no, I don't want them, you know, keep them. Use them on Israel. You know, they're gangsters. They're murdering Satanist pigs. Every one of these. So, you know, so I just get a little discouraged sometimes that everything that Ben's talking about just lines up with the friggin' charts and doesn't give me any indication that that they are actually succeeding in bringing these gangsters down, because it just looks to me like it's the gangsters are doing it according to what their charts are anyway, with their fake prints and everything. They've done said that they're going to crash the market, so it's like they're right on schedule, and it's just making it look like that you know, they have cut off their money supply, and you know, that's all great, but it's almost as if the big boys are throwing some little fish out there to Ben and his White Dragon Society, and they're arresting those people, and they're thinking that they're getting somewhere. I don't know. I want to be hopeful with this, but I know that they have succeeded in a lot of things. But until I see somebody like somebody that looks like they, you know, really can help out the economy and save us. I don't know if he's going to save us, but he can certainly try. He's the best candidate we got out there, and that's Ron Paul. And maybe Jesse Ventura as the vice president. But if we could get those two in the White House, and they could get some things done, like shutting down the Federal Reserve, bankrupting those, arresting Ben Bernanke, and then going after Greenspan, and you know, arresting those bastards, and eliminating the IRS, bringing our troops back, and actually getting these free energy devices out there to the public. No more electric bill. You know, when I see this, I'll believe it. But right now, I'm still skeptical, because right now the gangsters are succeeding. They are right on schedule with the crash, because it's being foretold in the movie. It was foretold here in the Simpsons Clock. So if we have a nuclear bomb go off somewhere, God, I hope we don't, folks. You know. But if it does go off on the 9th or the 6th Sunday, and I've read this wrong, you know, y'all know that these gangsters are still succeeding, and the aliens were not successful in stopping this from going off. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so you know, everything here, you know, points to this market collapsing somewhere around the 9th. I mean, because there's a lot of things pointing to the 9th. I mean, again, it could be the 6th, Sunday night. So we're going to know Sunday night what's going to happen. I don't know either way what is going to happen. But in the charts, it was all foretold. Like I'm telling you, it's all foretold in the charts. And that's the thing that really bugs me. Let's look at the charts, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. Of course, we have the spiral date here that was on the 4th. And, you know, obviously that means we could have had our high Friday. I don't know yet. I don't know if it's going to gap down or not Monday. I just don't know how they're going to take this. But looking at the charts here, let's just look at the big chart here for one, the monthly. I mean, the monthly. This right here ought to be enough to convince you that we're ready to just absolutely collapse this coming weeks and months, in the coming weeks and months. This coming month of November and December, it should, you know, be clear to you that it is going to collapse. And we will draw some stuff here, and boom. Okay. This here pattern, folks, is called an MA. It is a very bearish pattern. I haven't went over this in a while. And the A, the portion of the A, if you drew this as an A like this, so it would look like an A, and this is a big M. This leg of the A is usually twice this move here. It's you know, and that's why it goes way down here. You know, obviously I can't tell how far that is, but that could very well easily be the 346.5 SPX, which is based upon our 34.65 SPY fake print. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen tomorrow or in 1 week, but this should tell you that it's coming. It's coming, and it could very well go out into, depends on how fast it goes down, but all of 2012, certainly at least the first half of it, certainly looks bad, really bad. Depends on how many months it takes to go down there. But into the, you know, the to the end of the year. And then here on the short term, you can look at this on the short term. You even have a smaller head and shoulders pattern right here that's forming right here. And this very next one could be the one that just falls off the cliff here in November. When you look at it right here, you can clearly see that. So, you know, it doesn't always, you know, work, but it certainly looks to me like it's ready to work. You've also got this right here. Obviously, that's an M, and not that, but it's more than anything, it's a negative divergence, and it looks to me like we're ready to just go down here and collapse here. You've got this pointing down. It looks like it's curling back up. That's only because of last month, but the pressure is still downward. This is just a bouncing ball that went down and hit the 50-yard line, and it's going to bounce, and it's going to keep running, going down. You've got down here, you've got this red line moving up, which is the Arun. Everything here tells me this whole month of November is just going to fall off a cliff, folks. Just absolutely going to fall off a cliff. That's on the monthly. So this was already foretold ahead of time. Looking here at the weekly, what do you see here in the weekly? You pretty much see exactly the same thing. When you look at this, you see, let's go with green. You kind of see the same thing. You see a mini head and shoulders here that's already played out, fell off a cliff. You see a larger head and shoulders here, and here it is, and it's also a rising wedge ready to collapse. You see it here. Looks like it's, you know, ready to roll over at any time. Same thing here, ready to roll over. Same thing here. It could go a little bit more, but I doubt it. I think it's done with all this other news that's out. To me, it looks like it's done. It's toast. Everything points to just an absolutely collapse in November. And so let's look at the other charts, looking at the daily. So you can see how this is kind of all foretold in the charts, and so that's kind of what really bugs me, that, you know, Ben Fulford and his gang was not able to do this at some other time. Why didn't you do this before this massive run-up? You know, so anyway, and I'm not saying anything bad about him. I really, you know, respect the guy and want and think he's doing the best that he can. It's just, to me, it still looks like these gangsters are in control, because they put out all these fake prints and they've hit them, and you know, everything is just in their favor right now. So again, looking at this chart, you can clearly see that the move down here is looking like it wants to curl back up, but again, it's just going down, hitting the 50, and then it's going to roll back over. This is common. This happens, you know, a lot more than we think. Same thing on the way up. Sometimes it's a little bit steeper move back up, but I think it's done at this point. Like this one here, it went up, hit the 50, then rolled back down, then went on back up. And then here it went down, hit the 50, and then come on back up. You know, you see this common, that it'll do this. This depend, you know, how obviously you got to match it up with the monthly as well. But here you also have a mini head and shoulders as well. So you got all these head and shoulders. Now they don't always play out, but you have to mix them in with the other charts to see how the other charts are. Clearly, you are still way overbought here. I just don't see any way you're going to continue higher and go on up here to hit 1,300 or anything like that. I just don't see it, folks. It's just not there. As far as I can see, this again is the start of, I've said this before, but this whole move down, you can call this P3, folks, primary wave 3 right here, okay? And then as far as the next waves down, you can see that this would be intermediate wave 1, intermediate wave 2, and we're starting intermediate wave 3, okay? And then you would do obviously a 4 and a 5, and you can call that I1, I2, I3, and I'm not, you know, an Elliott wave person. I mix Elliott wave in with what I already see with the technical analysis, okay? I make these Elliott wave predictions match up with what I see in the technicals, with the MACD histogram bars and the MACD moving averages and the stochastics, and on all the charts and the other patterns. You got to mix it up with head and shoulders patterns and MA patterns and everything. You have to mix it up with everything, and then you got to fit in the appropriate chart pattern. Now in this chart pattern, in intermediate wave 3, you should easily see a major wave 1 down. If you want to call it major wave 1, I don't know, it doesn't make no difference. I'm going to call it major wave 1, then a 2, and then a 3, and then a 4, and then a 5, okay? And that would be a major, we'll call that a major wave. That's what that is. And right now it looks to me like we're getting ready to go in a major wave 3 down, where again the other one, we are in intermediate wave 3 down as well. As far as inside of this wave 3, you're going to have some microwaves, and that would be a 5-wave pattern inside of that. So you'd have something like this inside of this, and you can call these minor waves if you want. I don't really care about the labeling, but it looks like we're getting ready to start minor wave 1 down on Monday. Maybe we bounce on Tuesday, I don't know, and then we collapse on in the 3 wave on Wednesday. That's possible, and that would certainly match up with 11-9 11, and you know, matches up with the Simpson clock. You know, matches up with, daggone man, it just matches up with everything. So Monday, it looks like we could start our 3, 3, 3, 1 wave down, and then if we bounce on Tuesday for a 3, 3, 3, 2 back up, okay, then on Wednesday we could literally have our 3, 3, 3 wave combination down right here. And you know, this is just you know, just very, very, very scary, folks. I mean, the wave pattern here is just it. And obviously I'm not an Elliott wave person, but everything tells me this thing is ready to absolutely collapse. And then of course we should have, maybe this will be our bounce up into early next year, into January or something like that, maybe into the Legatus meeting, the next one where George Daddy Bush is, and I think that's on February the I think it's 2nd or something like that, through the 4th or something like that. Maybe that's where we top at, right there for intermediate wave 4 with a nice big rally. Then we start intermediate wave 5, and then, you know, obviously we would be in a massive another wave down, maybe headed down towards that 34.65 collapse. I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't know. We're guessing too far out. I just know that right now it's looking like a 3-3-3 wave combination, and 3-3-3-1 if this is the first wave down on Monday. And you know, if that happens, and this very well could happen from this news that we have got out from, you know, zero hedge and them requiring more margin and stuff like that. So everything, you know, with the 119 fake print, let's not forget about that, which again was odd because it didn't have any sense behind it. You know, no sense behind it. And the fact that it also happened at 10:56 a.m., which equals 111, as you simply add 5 plus 6 together equals 11, and then you add the 1 here, and that's how you get your 111. And also that print showed up on 10:26:11, which 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 9, or 911. That's very, very odd. All this happens with this 119 fake print, so it very well may not be a level that we are going to go down to, but instead a signal that we are going to have 9/11 on 11/9 of this, you know, of this coming week on Wednesday. So the Greek news could be a non-event that they've been talking about here. It said, I don't know how this is going to play out, but Papandreou, the Greece's, is he a prime minister or a president? I don't know what they call him over there. Same thing. Prime minister is a president. It's just a different name. Anyway, you know, he got a vote of confidence, but he's stepping down. So I don't know how that's going to affect the market. Europe, let's see, Europe fails to get help from G20 leaders for the bailout. I don't know. I mean, this is obviously a lot of politics that I don't fully understand how it's going to affect the market. I can only go by the charts, and I can tell you that it looks like Monday we're going to gap down and have a collapse on Monday, and then maybe a wave 2 back up on Tuesday. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Could happen intraday. So, you know, you could gap down on Monday, then right back up for the wave 2, and then start back down again for the wave 3 on Tuesday, and can carry it into Wednesday and Thursday before maybe you have a little bounce on Friday for that wave. I don't know, but that's all inside this big wave count. So if this doesn't scare the hell out of you, I don't know what will. Let's also not forget about the movie Margin Call, which came out on the weekend of Legatus. Okay, and at the same time you had the MF let's see, MF Global, they their stock pretty much plummeted. They started, I think it was on the 25th or something. It just fell off a cliff, and this was when they made the announcement. And of course Legatus was on the 23rd. Okay, so they delayed this when they delayed the Euro meeting that was delayed until the 26th, which was scheduled on the 23rd. And then when they delayed it, that's when we got squeezed in this squeeze right here. That should have happened on Monday. Sunday night, we should have, on the 23rd, they should have, passed the bailout like they did, then rallied up on Monday. We could have got short and captured this decline, and the Legatus pilgrimage would have been the exact high, but it wasn't this time because they delayed it to Wednesday the 26th. Is it still the turn? I believe it was, because the MF Global basically started crashing, and the announcement was on the after the 25th. I mean, after the head guys got to bail out, and then basically the crap hit the fan. So it was just delayed, but it still, to me, tells me that the Legatus pilgrimage was when the gangsters made the decision to crash this market. And it's when they've also released all this data and stuff that they have released out, along with the margin call movie. And then you got other movies coming out, like the 11-11-11 movie that nobody can stop what's coming. That's their headline in it. Man, I tell you, if this doesn't scare the hell out of you for next week with what the charts tell you, what the rituals tell you, I don't know what does. And from, astrology and everything in the chart says this market's absolutely going to collapse next week. And so, we very well, before the first week of December, go down here and finish this wave out, easily taking this out. I don't know how long it's going to take, but maybe by that December 7th, when the Illuminati .org countdown ends. Okay, that's when it ends. What does that tell you? December 7th is a pretty important date. Do you think we're going to have our bottom there? Where would we have the bottom? I've got a fake print of 885 SPX from last year and Dow 8300. Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible, folks. This is scary, scary times that we're in right now. So, okay, let's clean up this chart. Let's get to the next chart. Okay, and then I'll wrap this up. I hate the fact that I did not go short. I just want to kick myself for it, especially if we gap down on Monday and I'm not short. But I sat here and I looked at this, and I seen this triangle forming, and this was one of the reasons I called out on the chat room that we would close between 1250 and 1255, because that's exactly where this peak was at the end when it peaks right here in this triangle. Now, generally speaking, I did not go short for a reason. The charts didn't tell me it was finished yet. I thought to myself, how many times have I seen fake breakouts? It's very common to have a false breakout. This to me looked like it could also be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, maybe hitting 1273, which is the 200-day moving average on the daily. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to complete that in a 5-wave pattern or not. I mean, it looks like we're going to gap down, but I don't know. That bothered me, the fact that these triangles typically have a false breakout to one side or the other. So if we had the false breakout, then the market runs up like this. If this happens, And this does squeeze out any shorts that put in shorts right there, put in stops right there. See, I looked at this also on the head and shoulders pattern that's clear right here, okay? That head and shoulders pattern, very clear to me that everybody would see this, every bear would see this, all the retail traders would see this. They would go short here at this moment, ride it up when they seen this, just expecting it not to take out this high, and then put their stops right above this level right here. And put their stops right here above this level and above this level. And to me, they don't make it that simple. They rarely make it that simple to where if they're going to take a huge collapse down like this, that they let these bears get short and not get taken out. Now, I don't think there's that many people that went short on that, but there's more than you think that seen this head and shoulders pattern and put stops up above here. So, you know, and let me clear this off a second here and go back. So again, if you again have stops up above there and you just go ahead and collapse in this wave down next week, then you let these people benefit. So I guess it all depends on how many they allowed to get short there, how many bears were actually brave enough to go short and to see this head and shoulders pattern. I think, you know, I think it's pretty obvious. I think most traders did see it. So that is why it leads me to believe they might, you know, still run up to take out these stops and then absolutely collapse. And then there was the other reason that I didn't go short over the weekend, and that is this right here appeared to be too low to me. It looks like it wants to go up a little bit more before it gets overbought and then collapse. This was pointing up. I thought it would go up a little bit more and then collapse. This here should go up a little bit more and put in one of these numbers. This matches up with the 2-hour chart and 4-hour chart as well. And so, and that also matched up with my theory that they would take out the stops here and that this is a 5-wave pattern. And then they absolutely collapse. And then, of course, this whole move being the wave 2, wave 1, and then the wave 3 down, you see. Now, with the news that's out, that's so bearish, I don't know about the requirements, the margin requirements that they've got to have in there. So I don't know if this is it's going to cause the margin calls immediately and a gap down on Monday. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know how the traders are going to react. I know they're not going to be able to come up with the money, but who knows? Maybe maybe they gap it down and run it back up. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just telling you what I see. If I was to go strictly by the news, I would say we gap down big because of this margin calls being new rules on the margin calls being released Friday. If I went by the charts, I would say that we do go up to, just like I'm showing here, to finish this 5-wave pattern up and to take out the stops that are above here, and then we collapse. And if I was to just go strictly by the charts, so looking at the other ones here, we can look at also the 30-minute chart, kind of see the same thing. Looks like it wants to go up. Looks like this went up, curled down, wants to go higher, maybe up to 10. This looks like it wants to curl up and go up. And really the 15-minute chart really ain't giving us no guideline. You can see the big triangle right here forming. So I was hoping for the false breakout to clear out the stops and then the collapse. And that was really what I was hoping for, so I did not go short. And I'm probably going to be kicking myself. I'm kind of ticked. My emotions told me to go short, and I was trying to ignore my emotions because that's usually these EMF fields are broadcasting out from us, from the cell phone towers and electric companies. They're broadcasting out all kinds of electromagnetic waves and fields that mess with your rational thinking, and they trick a lot of sheep that way. And believe me, that is real. Google it, and you'll find it is real. EMFs are being broadcast out to affect your brain waves and to make you make irrational decisions. So I'm going to look at one last chart here, then I'm going to end this up because it is a long video. I'm sorry, I had a lot to cover. As you can see here on the futures charts, another reason I did not go short was looking here. This is the 4-hour chart right here, as you can see up here in the top left, and you can see that it looks like it's ready to roll over. It's went up, curled down, then went up some more. Looks like it's ready to roll over. I just didn't feel like that it was going to collapse at this point. For some reason, I thought that maybe we'd put in some lower bars right here, make a negative divergence, and these moving averages would go up here closer to 10 and get really overbought like these areas here were before it finally rolls over on the 4 hour. So that would mean Sunday night, if the news by this margin requirement isn't really taken that bad, but I mean my gut tells me it is. But if it's not taken badly, then I don't know. Maybe they will rally this up and push it up and have some, between here and the open Monday, they have some lower bars, but put in a higher low on the histogram bars and raise these moving averages up. That's just what the charts tell me. But again, the news tells me otherwise. So if that's the case and it gets up to 10, man, it'll be massively overbought and ready for an absolute collapse on by midday or by the open on Monday or Tuesday at the latest, but I don't think it'll go that far. My gut tells me based upon the news that it's going to collapse. It's going to collapse at the open Monday. But looking here at the 2 hour chart, I see a situation where it looks like it's went down and curled back up here, indicating it might go back up here and put in a lower high right here on these moving averages and then here again these black moving average histogram bars maybe go up here and put a little bit lower tower in here, put in a negative divergence before it closes, before it collapses. This would all happen overnight on Sunday night before Monday morning opens, and it would just be overbought basically Monday morning. And if that's the case, then it could go up here, break this line, go on up here to this 1260 and maybe go up here towards this 1268 or something like that on this line here. I don't know. It could happen, and that would again be a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a final 5th wave again if you counted the waves like that and matched it up with the Elliott wave. 60-minute chart tells me same kind of scenario here. That well, is it loading? It's still loading. Give it a chance. Okay. Same kind of scenario here. It looks like we have went down from being quite overbought here and went down here and put in some lower histogram towers and cycling back up, and could possibly go back up and put in a lower tower here on both the histogram bars and the MACD moving averages. Put in a negative divergence on both of them, then roll over. And I say that because of the 4 hour, the way it looks, and the 2 hour, the way they look. That's, you know, if they were pointing straight down from a big peak like this, then I would expect this to just continue straight down and to get massively oversold at -10. But that's not what I see. When you look at the 4 hour, it looks like it wants to go up a little bit higher, which would indicate this would curl up and go along with it and then roll over. This would indicate that all this would happen Sunday night, and Monday morning we would open with an up move and go up, and maybe possibly a gap up. Now that seems so contradictory to the news, because the news tells me we're going to gap down, but the charts don't say that. So that's just what I'm reading right now. Of course, we will not know this until Sunday night, but charts can be manipulated. We know that. But right now, they are telling me that, again, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th wave up, and it takes out the bears, stops anybody that went short. Look at this. I mean, that's a perfect left shoulder, perfect right shoulder. That is a head and shoulders pattern. All technical traders see that. And, you know, to me, they would want to take these people out. But, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm only seeing what I'm seeing in the charts. I'm still kicking myself if we gap down on Monday, because the news says we should gap down, but the charts say otherwise. The charts support a move up. So I don't know what to think, but I'm just telling you both what I see in the news, what I see in the chart. I want to gap up, obviously, because I did not get short. So don't forget, if you make a bunch of money, don't forget to feed the dragon. I can appreciate it. Make me feel good to see some money in my account, even if it is my PayPal account instead of my trading account. So there it is. Click on it and pick the donation amount you want. $1 million would be nice, but any lesser amount is acceptable. Thanks a lot, gang. I do appreciate all of you coming to the blog and posting and putting your comments out, and those of you in the that only watch the videos on YouTube, do come to the blog, read the blog post, because there's a lot of information there. And do comment, do comment from time to time. And you're welcome to stop by the chat room too as well at stockmarketbloggers.com, which is there. You can click on it right there and take you to it. Lots of good information here on the Red Pill sites. You can, if you're interested in all the Red Pill stuff that is out there, I'll put a lot of good links there to good stuff that's out there. So, and I think that's it. I'm going to wrap this video up. It's one of the longest ones I've done, 50 minutes, but there was just a lot to cover, and so I do apologize and wish everyone well. And I would, if you're able to stay short, ride this puppy out. I think we could very well go all the way down into December 7th in honor of Pearl Harbor, 1941. Another staged event, by the way, gang, just in case you didn't know it. As well as the Titanic, which had, according to Ben Fulford, 600 high financial people that were rich at the time, that were opposed to the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank because it took away the rights of the government to create money. The government's supposed to create money according to our Constitution. The Treasury is. That's where you see the dollar bills from the 60s that Kennedy put out said U.S. Treasury note on it, whereas the ones we see now say U.S. toilet paper. In other words, U.S. Federal Reserve note. Anyway, there were 600 or 60, I can't remember how many there was, that were opposed to this, and miraculously they all got invited on the Titanic. Lo and behold, there's another story for you folks, and you wipe out the competition on one sunken boat. And the sheep believe it was just an accident with an iceberg. Okay, gang, that is it. Good luck. Again, I do appreciate everyone, and wish us all the best, and let's pray that we do not see any nuclear bomb go off, that the good aliens do stop this from happening. But regardless, the technicals say the market's going to crash. Good luck and God bless.